We're live.
Good.
But you never know, like when, like I don't know, like how. It's kind of random how like when I clip in, you know, because like I'm still doing my tie and all. All right, so this is Keeping It Real, episode 234. I know you, but I don't really know you. So here's what I do know, and I don't know how well you take compliments.
Okay.
But you're a really smiley dude. That was my first. That was my first impression. Well, actually, no, that's not even true. My first impression, I thought you were just wicked cool. Like I was like, I saw your Instagram. You had more followers than I had, and you had this country thing to it, which it's like, I guess it's not a thing, but like, it just had a insane amount of aura, I guess. So I'm thinking like, wow, this guy, I'm going to be living with this guy. This is great. And then you came with this big truck and this big trailer. And you just seem to have a way about you where people that are around you like to be around you, like me right now. So thank you for being on the show. And what I wanted to ask after I said, it's hard to compliment and to get compliments, I feel sometimes. It's like you don't even really know what to do. But there's more I could say I won't, because I want you to tell me all the things that I have no idea about. Because we're old, man. Right. It used to be you'd meet a guy and you'd be in middle school together, and there wasn't much to know about him.
Exactly.
Because you were 10 years old.
Yeah.
But now we're double time.
Well, it's great to be on the show. I've heard a lot about it, seen it a few times at night. I'm Kalen Barwick, live and in action right now with Jack Kadis. I come from a small town in North Carolina called Deep Run. It's probably a population of like 3,000 people. I graduated from South Lenore High School in 2022. I'm 21 years old, and I come from a huge family of generations of farming, mostly livestock, not much crop farming, but at the same time, we do still have a little bit of crop farming going on, like tobacco, corn, peanuts this year that we'll harvest in September. With that being said, I have 4 older brothers, and I'm the 5th, and there's no girls. We had the first girl in our family, which was my second oldest brother's, his first daughter in like 30 some years. So we've always had boys in the family, and yeah, there's nothing really interesting about me other than I travel a ton. So my family, we've shown livestock my whole life, grew up around it. And I was heavily involved in 4-H showing. I showed sheep, and we also raise, show pigs as well as that. So that pretty much contained 18 years of my life until I aged out in 2022. And I graduated high school at that time, and then I moved off to college in Oklahoma, and I got my 2-year my animal science degree, and I transferred to state and finishing up my bachelor's degree in animal science and trying to get into vet school. So not too much. I mean, just a lot of livestock background, basically. So
Is there what would you recommend I go to if I ever found myself in a place like where you come from?
But where would I recommend?
Yeah.
Or what would I recommend you doing?
Both.
I mean, it honestly just kind of depends on like how fascinated you are with it. Like, if you went to my hometown, basically there's no stoplight. There's no grocery store. We have a Dollar General. That's it. So there's not really much to do other than basically explore the countryside. If you're into crops, you get right around town and look at the crops. Or you could stop at farms and talk to farmers, I guess. Like go in commercial hog houses, and it just kind of all depends on what your niche is, I guess, what you get excited about. I don't know.
Here's what I'm excited about. Tell me about the Dollar General.
Okay. We call it the Deep Run Walmart. So it was probably built probably like 6 years ago, and that's basically where we get all of our toilet paper and all of our right at the time needs for home. Otherwise, we just drive to the Walmart that's like 20 minutes down the road. So, I mean, there's nothing exciting about it. I grew up like a mile away from my high school, a mile away from my Dollar General, and then there's a little store called the Farmhouse, and it's basically like little subs. So during my time in high school, whenever I didn't want to eat lunch there, I would just walk half a mile to the Farmhouse and get a sub.
Would you eat school lunch?
Did I eat school lunch?
Is that what you mean by you wouldn't want, if you didn't want to eat lunch, you'd walk to the Farmhouse? Like like instead of school lunch, what would they serve? I mean, was it public school?
So whenever I guess it was Michelle Obama, she did that
My Plate.
yeah, that, and it kind of, the food just kind of turned disgusting. Everything was whole wheat and like
It wasn't whole wheat, because if it was whole wheat, I'd say it'd be pretty good. But what it really was is just smaller portions.
Yeah.
I think what my Plate was a big failure, because it was supposed to be a healthy initiative, which is good. We all want our kids to eat healthier. We want our kids to be smart. That's why we send them to school. So we feed them there. It should be good food, you know? But what Michelle Obama had going on was the size of the Doritos bag just shrunk. You remember that? I mean, we were in school, and I remember like, it was like, what? Like, and it went from Lay's to half-baked Lay's. Because that's
supposed to be better for you, I guess.
It's just, you know, this guy saves money. And it's, I don't know. It totally failed, I feel.
Yeah, it was not. I didn't really eat school lunch. I just kind of either, a lot of times I got out like right about lunch. So it's either the Farmhouse or I just drive back home. So my junior and senior year, I didn't stay at school very much. So
because you were graduated almost pretty much close to?
Basically, yeah. I just didn't have that many classes left, so.
What were your responsibilities outside of school?
So most of my life, I've just, I would consider myself like farm management. So, I've honestly never really had a real job where I got taxes taken out of my paycheck, but because my dad has always been my boss. So, that, I guess that's good for me, but, honestly, farm management is basically like, we also are big commercial hog farmers. So basically going down there in the mornings, checking on them, making sure the waters are running, like the feed is going through the grain, you know, mixer through the hog house. And then, you know, shower, go to school, or in the mornings, I would feed sheep and then go to school. Afternoons would consist of basically coming home, feeding, or checking hogs. And then I would go through like this schedule of working livestock, and it's quite confusing because there's so many details into just showing livestock. It's honestly a sport. It's not. Some people take it very lightly and don't do it like they're supposed to, but some people are honestly really involved, and there's a lot of money in it. So basically, whenever I was growing up, my schedule would be, I would have like 10 to 12 show sheep in the barn, and 6 of them would get worked one day, and then the next 6 would get worked the next
What
day.
does that work look like?
So
I mean, this is fascinating.
So we also wrap sheep legs because they have big fluffy legs, and we want that. It's kind of like the aura, whatever you call it, in the sheep industry.
Okay.
It makes them look better. It makes them look prettier. So basically, get one up on the stand, take leg wraps off, blow them out, wash them, wrap them again, and then you would work the sheep for 30 minutes, like in the yard. Basically, it's called setting up. So you just square up all 4 feet, and then it would push into you. Yeah.
And that's what you see when it's like your waist is at their head.
Yes.
And that's the way you'd show it.
Yes.
So it makes sense. That's how you're working it.
Yep.
So you're doing this with 6 sheep per day.
Mm-hmm.
And how many sheep are there?
Like at a show, or
I think at your farm.
So we had over 100 blackface ewes. That's how many we were operating and running. We did downsize this year because it's just so much on my dad, and like there's so much going on. Whenever I was living in Oklahoma, it was tough for him to keep up doing it by himself because honestly, like he's doing it for me. It's not him. He just loves it enough to do it for me and provide for me one day down the road. So this year we scaled back to about probably 45, 50, just like half sized it or whatever, just so it would be easier. I'm at NC State now, so it's only an hour and a half instead of 23 hours. So that's a lot better on us in that aspect. So
Yeah, I want to ask you. I want to know more about the sheep, but eventually I want to ask you what it was like being so far away because I've never been so far away. But sheep wise, so you've downsized, and that can be a very tricky thing. I very much feel you. What does it look like when? Are they called tournaments?
They're called like jackpot shows, or people call them tournaments, competitions.
So, I mean, tell me about the week, the month, the week leading up.
So honestly, it just depends on the size scale of the show. Like, so literally this past weekend or 2 weekends ago, or the past 2 weekends, we just started into the Eastern Carolina circuit. So basically it's a series of shows, and there's 10 shows, like basically all the counties around like Raleigh or whatever. So we just go every weekend, and there's a point system. And if you win the point system, you win like a belt buckle at the end of it. And reserve, second place gets like a jacket, and third place gets money or something like that. You know, it's a whole point system process. But for these smaller shows like this, we don't really have to prepare a lot because they're not as competitive. I've won the Eastern Carolina circuit. I won it 2 years in a row.
Really?
Yeah. And then also did a bigger series in Virginia. I was grand 1 year and then reserve. And then our state fair, I won showmanship there. And then the next year I won it again. So I back to backed it.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So as we're heading to state fair, which is in October, so hell, that's what we've been leading to up this whole point, you know, like that's the end all be all, and for us at least, like
to make it a standalone episode, just so whatever time you're viewing, wherever you are, it's currently August.
Yeah. So we've been preparing for this since like March, since whenever people got their sheep in North Carolina. October is our end show. So people prepare for it all year long. Like that's why you work your sheep every day. That's why you wrap legs and wash legs, set them up every day. And just like good hygiene, like good care for your animal or whatever it is, you know, that you do to make or present your animal the best way you can. As of right now, we're preparing. Like today, me and a good friend of mine who keeps their animals at my barn, we're driving home to go work them. So we're preparing for the state fair right now because we don't run the Eastern Carolina circuit. So we're still preparing for state fair as we speak. Basically, it's a year-long process. There also is national shows, and the first national show is actually the week of our state fair. It's in Kansas City. It's called the American Royal. We don't go to that because it's during our state fair. The second one I've actually been to and spent many years at is called Nail. It's in Louisville, Kentucky, and it is in November sometime. We probably won't go this year just because we're going to be done after state fair, but I know a couple of my families in North Carolina are going to end up making that trip up, so it should be fun and exciting.
Do you breed them?
Yeah, we raise them. Yeah.
What does that look like?
So, August 5th or 6th, we bred those 50 ewes to a buck called Bingo, and it's a Beatty buck in Pennsylvania. Last year, that guy raised one called Tres Amigos, and we bred the Tres Amigos last year, and we ended up winning one of the biggest prospect show and sales in the country, and he sold for 10,000, and we got a bunch of prize stuff for that. And so basically our breeding, just like we do artificial insemination. So these guys come down from Pennsylvania with a truck and trailer, and it's like a big empty camper type thing. They load them up on the back one at a time, and this guy has a scope that he punctures in the bottom of them. And
Oh, okay. So it's not like, okay.
And then he sticks the semen in there, and bam, voila.
There you go.
Yeah, it's not like a natural breeding or anything like that. It's probably more efficient than natural breeding, honestly, but the cost of it is a lot more expensive. So
What would you say about that happening on the human side? Because it is happening more and more.
artificial insemination?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think what you're thinking of is IVF. So that's I guess artificial insemination that they're doing in humans now. We have done IVF on a ewe that she was actually our leading donor in our program. So she made the best babies for the past like 5 or 6 years. And then she just stopped, like she wouldn't take the semen and she wouldn't breed. So we did a round of IVF and she didn't take again. So basically we're just going to sell her. I think that the world needs to slow down a little bit because I think it's quite crazy that we can do it to humans. I think it's a good cause though for a family that can't have children. You know, I think it's really special, something that obviously the parents were passionate about it enough to spend that money and do that. You know, I think it's pretty beautiful. But
I spent. This is completely unrelated. I was in backcountry Oregon for a month with a program called Outworked, and I backpacked and I ate food on it. We had food in our backpacks, and we slept in the tents we carried on our backpacks, and it was just us. When I say backcountry, there were 7 of us, 2 instructors, 5 kids, and nobody. I mean, you looked up and you see every single star. There was one night where we were on the side of the river, and we heard rattlesnakes. I mean, it was everything. Just 10 miles a day walking, and I loved it.
yeah, you're better than me because I couldn't do that.
I think you could.
I'm not much of a nature guy. I do like the Midwest and the desert and like Arizona, and basically being able to see for hundreds of miles. But as soon as you put me in a tent in the middle of the desert, no way.
So what was it like living far away from family? Where were you? And why'd you go?
Okay. I was at Connor State College in Warner, Oklahoma. If you've ever heard of Muskogee, Oklahoma. Okie from Muskogee by Merle Haggard.
I just drove through the state for the first time. Never been there. I drove through it.
Yeah.
And nothing's out there. It's nothingness.
So I lived 20 minutes outside of Muskogee, and it's in the northeast corner of Oklahoma. And they also make a bunch of songs about that too. So basically I went to Connor State College because I had a scholarship to go livestock judging. And so they paid for part of my school while I was there, you know. And honestly, I always wanted to get away from home. I've never been a home person, but at the same time, I kind of got a little homesick, and home is where the heart is, I guess you could say. There's just a lot more for me here in North Carolina than there is in Oklahoma, I guess. But basically, the reason I went was for livestock judging. I met some incredible people. I always wanted to go to school in Oklahoma. My first college was my number one top pick was always OSU, Oklahoma State University, and that was over NC State actually because I wanted to go to vet school there, but my parents' pride and basically just begged me to come back home. So I kind of did that just to make them happy and be closer to family. And, I missed it myself. I can't say that I didn't. So.
All right. I'm going to stop the recording because I don't want. And it's like nothing ever happened. They'll never know. You're an iPhone guy. You ever try Android?
Absolutely not.
Dude, it's a cult. Like if you like one, you like one.
Yeah.
Well, I've got Windows and Apple. On the computer front, I do both.
So I feel like a Windows is really nice to have as a desktop computer, but never for like a laptop. I feel like
I don't know what it is. I felt like Android has always copied Apple.
Yeah, every step of the way.
Yeah, and then you hold an Android phone and you can't even figure out how to use. Like I should be able to know how to use this.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter how much they copy Apple; they're never gonna be as good. Like the camera quality still sucks.
What do you think about Apple and how much they're worth?
Steve Jobs, ain't he the guy that?
Oh, I wouldn't know.
I think Steve Jobs is the one that created Apple or whatever.
Yeah.
But
I think Tim Cook's got it now.
Hell, I wish I was him. Honestly, I wish I was Elon Musk.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, I hate him, but
why do you hate him? I love the guy to death. We finally found something we disagree on.
I just think he's stupid, and now he brought politics into it, and I don't know.
I think he's severely autistic.
I think he has some problems of his own, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you don't get to be the richest man without being the most different man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
At the same time, like, he's probably one of the most known people in the world for having the most money, but I just still feel like people don't know him, like his true self.
What about risk of assassination? Going all over the place, but my mind just keeps bouncing. I want to see like
risk of assassination.
Like, Elon Musk,
like he's at risk. For
do you think he might be?
Honestly, I don't know. That's a great question.
Well, what do you see? Okay, forget Elon Musk being assassinated. What do you think going forward, like the next decade? We got all this crazy stuff. You said earlier, everyone needs to slow down.
Yeah.
I did not forget that. I did not forget that. And here we go, man. We're 20 something. So it's like, what do you see? Like make some bold predictions. I'm not talking about who's going to win the Super Bowl next year.
Like
but you could.
Real life shit.
Like what do you see? What do you see in the future? Because I think I asked you if like what do you think about that? Because in the back of my mind I feel like it's possible. Any day we could just hear that someone shot Elon Musk.
Yeah. My predictions for the future are honestly really crazy. Like, I'm a big believer that I will never live my full life and that Jesus will come back before I live my whole life. Like, I don't know. I've always felt that way. Like, there's some kind of inkling in my heart that just tells me that. And I think the world will get shitty before it gets good, I think that we have a high risk at going into World War III. I think that they will come up with some incredible things. I mean, obviously I have driving cars, and I'm sure that we'll be floating in the air before it's all said and done with down the highway. So I don't know. That could probably be like 15, 20 years from now.
Okay, tell me about your introduction to faith.
It's probably gonna shock you, Jack, but I grew up LDS Mormon.
LDS Mormon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
Really?
Yeah, I'm ignorant. I feel embarrassed. What? Tell me.
So, LDS is Latter-day Saints, Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. You don't know what Mormon is? Like, are you being quite serious?
I know, but I want to know what it meant for you.
What it means for me. I mean, I grew up in the church. A lot of people hate us, like a lot. Basically, everybody has their things about it. I love the church genuinely because I don't think there's any better way to raise a family that way than LDS. Like, we don't drink, we don't smoke, we don't drink coffee, we don't drink tea. We just basically keep our bodies happy and healthy is the whole thing. And we wait until marriage to have sex, and like we get married in a temple, and there's just a whole bunch of different things about it. I love it.
So I guess you were born into that would be your introduction. But can you remember any moments that stand out when you were young?
The day that I was baptized.
You can remember? How old were you?
8 years old.
And you remember that?
Mm-hmm. Yep. I remember my dad getting me a Canon or Nikon camera thing. I remember that day pretty vividly. I remember like just going to youth conference and like general conference or watching it on TV, state conference, watching that on TV. So, yeah. I don't know. What else is there?
Well, I mean, I feel like maybe it doesn't seem like there's much, but I'm not religious.
Yeah.
So I'm very interested.
Honestly, like, I feel like you would have to read about it in order for me to go in more depth of detail, because I don't really like talking about religion. I'll be happy to share my faith with you and like my testimony and tell you about the church. It's just that the hate that we receive for it, and I know you're not hating or anything like that. It's just so like the church is so different from a lot of churches in the way that we practice and do things, and that's what freaks everybody out.
I hear you. You ever been in NASCAR?
Yeah. A long time ago.
Never have I ever been. Now, recently...
Don't you live in Charlotte?
I know. I've been to the Speedway, but I've never seen the cars go around at an actual race, ever. We took like a field trip bus around the curve, and it was like 45 degrees. Now, I did travel to Florida in recent years and saw true country drag racing. Like, I'm talking big tires that like melt off, and the ground's so sticky you lose your shoe. And oh my God, it was so loud. The first thing I did is go to that concession stand and ask for some earplugs. The guy looks up at me and he's like, looks like no one's ever asked him that before.
Yeah.
I guess these people just have hearing loss.
Oh yeah. In the country we do. I do. I've had 2 ear surgeries.
Really?
Yeah. But first let me talk about drag racing.
Let me go.
So years ago, whenever I was a kid, we did go to Charlotte and watch the NASCAR car race, but that was like the only NASCAR race I've ever seen. But the drag strip, we have one in Kinston, which is like 15 minutes from me. There's some pretty crazy stories there. Like one time an airplane like lost control and basically nosedive, and
No.
yeah, the man died right there on the drag strip.
Oh.
Yep. Engulfed in flames and stuff like that. It was a guy, he was trying to show off in his little crop duster or whatever.
Oh, man. I feel like all guys can relate to that too, which is, you ever been like a little bit too over your head on a big machine?
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, it's such a shame.
Yeah. One of my good friends in high school, he did drag racing or whatever, and he seemed pretty continuous with that, I guess. I was never really into it. Like, I like the loudness of it, and I like how fast they go, but I've never been like so into it I had to go every week, So
what are your other sorry.
No, what was that other topic we got on?
Oh, Oklahoma?
No, the one that I brought up.
Oh, I don't when?
like 10 seconds ago. And then I said, let me talk about drag racing.
Oh shoot. It was it was NASCAR, but then you said dang man,
I can't remember.
come on, we can do it, because it went from NASCAR to drag racing. You said you'd been to Charlotte Motor Speedway, and then I was like, yeah, I took the school bus, and then I talked about Florida.
Yeah, I don't remember.
What are your experience? So is this the only times you've been to Charlotte? You've been to Charlotte?
Yeah,
More.
I've been to Charlotte like a couple times, not too many times.
The city?
No, not really the city.
Well, like maybe within 20 minutes.
Probably.
So what are your thoughts? Where were you? Do you remember anything about it?
Not really.
Okay.
We went there for the speed race thing, or the drag or NASCAR race, and anytime else I don't remember. I know I've probably been like 3 times, but I honestly couldn't put my finger on why I went.
What's like the biggest city you've been to?
I've been to a lot of cities. Lord, probably like somewhere in Texas, like
Houston.
yeah, Houston, San Antonio.
Houston's huge.
Any of those cities are probably the biggest cities that I've been to.
And you were there like with the skyscrapers and all.
Yes.
What'd you think?
I thought I don't want to live here. Just like Raleigh, North Carolina.
Oh, Raleigh's too big for you as well?
Yes, very.
Wow, that's insane, because Raleigh is like the smallest place I've ever been, and I can't take it any longer.
Yeah.
I wish that sound that just went past, I wish that was everywhere all the time.
No, I don't think I could do it. I just didn't grow up like that. Like I grew up in a very rural, or what is it called? Rural area?
Yeah.
Like a rural area or whatever. And, I do have some neighbors, but they have 4 acres, 5 acres. And then on the other side of the road, we have 100. You know what I mean? Like it's just kind of where I grew up, and I was kind of in my own little world growing up there. I don't know. A lot of my friends in high school and growing up, their parents were farmers and country people, just very slow talking, laid back, hang out on Sunday. Country people. So
Okay, here's a hypothetical. What do you think of the 2 guys? One lived half his life somewhere and then moved to like the complete opposite, and one stayed in the same place.
like one's a city guy, one's a country guy, and then the city guy moves to the country?
Yeah, we could do it that way.
Or the country guy moves to the city?
Could do it both ways.
Well, it's kind of like me. Like I moved from the country to the country and then to the city, I guess to put it in my perspective is I just don't like it. I like being so close to everything. Don't get me wrong. Like 5 minutes down the road, there's on Hillsborough Street, there's everything that you could think of. Or like 5 minutes down the road in Cary, like Lowe's and Walmart and all that. So it's not bad. The thing that I don't like is how many people are here. Like it's so crowded. There's not even a house around. Like it's all apartments. It's all dorms. It's all townhouses. Like people are just stacked on top of each other. And that's not where I come from. So I just don't like the vibe of it.
That's crazy, because to me this is way spread out.
Nah.
This is way spread out for me.
There's fields.
I mean, put it this way: it's like a 20-minute, like a 5-minute drive. Yeah, but that's like a 25-minute, 30, 40-minute walk. Yeah. 45-minute. I mean, where like groceries? I've walked it before. I walk it pretty often, actually. I take some pretty long walks, so I know what I'm talking about here.
Yeah,
it's like a large part of your day if you want to go to the grocery store and you don't have a car.
Oh, I know.
So I think that, we don't have any upstairs neighbors, but if you have upstairs neighbors and they make a whole lot of noise, and I said earlier, I like the sound of the ambulance driving by. I don't really. And if that was happening 20 times a day, I would hate it. But it's more of just a way to kind of show in like an exclamatory fashion that the trade-off of, it's crazy that to you everything's so close by, because I've been to New York City and it's like everything that's within a 5-minute, 10-minute, even stuff that's 30 minutes out would be like a part of your building or like at most 2 blocks away, maximum 2 blocks away. And then it's like, well, maybe you don't like the guy that works the counter at the place 2 blocks away that sells the specialty camera equipment. There's another camera spot 4 blocks away. So I take that trade-off. I mean, I just feel like it's weird because I don't think it makes that much of a difference on whether or not you feel like you're surrounded by company, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Another thing is all the drugs, like the drug problem, and just like how
in your face.
nasty
Oh yeah.
this city is. Like I've never realized, like I've lived in North Carolina my whole life and come to Raleigh all the time, but I never did truly realize how bad the drug addiction was here. Like this morning I was headed to class at 7:30 in the morning, and I turn on a road and there's this guy dancing in the street like he was definitely doing the fentanyl. And to me, that's just crazy because, like, obviously if I'm in a big city traveling, like I do see that, but I'm not going to see that if I go back to my podunk hometown, cross the next street and see a guy doing the fentanyl there. Like, it's just not going to happen.
It's jarring if you're not used to it.
Yeah. And then like yesterday, actually, I was leaving class, got on the transit bus, and there was another kid like vomiting. I don't know if he was vomiting from all the alcohol that he drank but he looked like he was talking to himself, and he didn't look very healthy, which is sad. Like, I get it. Like, you do it to yourself and you can get help, but I mean, honestly, like, it's sad. Nobody wants to see anybody do that. Like, so that's just another thing that I'm not used to, like, city life wise. So
I'm trying to tell you, this ain't no city, especially where we're living. The city is 20 minutes drive.
I think this is city.
Crazy town.
Yeah. Like, back home, 2 fields separate me from anybody else.
You ever take the train?
In my hometown?
Anywhere.
Yeah,
they don't have Amtrak where you're from.
Nah.
They barely have it, and they barely have it here. Barely. Amtrak is not all that.
The only transits that I've ever took are the ones in airports, and that is for real. A transit in a ton of different airports. And then from there, I just get an Uber.
Huh.
Yeah. So
we got to do a hot swap.
What's a hot swap?
Camera died.
Okay, Dave is here.
All right. Well, that's good timing.
Good?
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll finish off. The door, I still haven't gotten around to closing that, so I hope I'm not in y'all's way.
Oh, no, you're good.
I'll just be talking at this volume.
All right. See, all right, we're leaving. All right, so I'll see you probably. Are you going to be here tonight? Or are you going to catch up on some sleep?
Yeah, baby.
Okay. All right, I might see you tonight.
All right, adios. Okay. So now it's just me. I'm going to unplug this mic. Should I stop recording while I do that? Yeah, I could. Hold on, people. This is the first time I've been alone in a while. You got to give me a little bit. I'm very excited here. I'm going to unplug it. I don't think anything bad is going to come from me unplugging it. Let's see if you guys can hear a difference in my voice. Okay, now it is just me and the microphone. Keeping it real. How long has it been since it's just been me and you? I'll tell you how long it's been. I can see it right now, right here on my screen. And I don't even know if necessarily what I'm about to do is even, I think before, so I can see right here, I have thumbnails, and there's 6 thumbnails that I'm looking at where it's not just my face in the thumbnail. And that means I had an in-person guest for 6 episodes straight. This makes 7. And this is crazy because we've never had a guest on for just 40 minutes, but you know how we do it here. I love to do firsts. I mean, that was perfect. He only had 40 minutes and he did 40 minutes. I'm so incredibly grateful. And if you're listening to this, Kaylin, I hope you come back on. Going past the thumbnail where there's 2 faces, I see begging for my first podcast sponsor. And I wonder if that, is Griffin a part of this? I'm not sure. Oh, Griffin joins last minute. James, why his name has to go. That's Griffin. Why I left a party for my podcast. That's definitely Griffin. $20 for a podcast. Jersey Mike's when I'm walking marathon goal. They're soft. Oh yeah, that's Griffin. Why I text the same people. That's probably Griffin. Anger, masculinity, and slamming the door. I think that's Pete. I think this is Pete, August 7th. So we are on an astounding and amazing keeping it real run where I have just sort of I've pushed back on the narrative that no one really cares. I think I'm very much the one that's writing the story. I mean, no one, keeping it real wouldn't exist if it weren't for me. And I don't say that to be all matter of fact and I don't know why I say that necessarily. It's I say that and then I wait for what's to come next. And I think next I want to say keeping it real wouldn't be here if it weren't for the guests that started it all. My friends from high school that let me travel to them, let me put the camera in their face, the mic in their face. When I was so nervous, I didn't even know what I was doing, and they were still just happy to be a part of it. That's what keeping it real is. To keep it real with you, whether there was a camera here or not, I need friends very badly. And it's just a give and a take thing. I think this past 40 minutes we just did with Kaylin was amazing. I mean, what an interesting guy. I don't think people realize this feeling that I get when I am listening to a guest talk. Especially when, I ask these questions and I want to know, I direct, the questions are directed through a sense of what I'm interested in, right? You hear me all the time. I talk about trains. I asked about trains. I very much want to know about trains. But it's also, you're also like a Tarzan swinging from branch to branch, and if trains is the only branch you can grab on to prevent yourself from falling, then you got to grab it so you can swing to the next branch, which is maybe how amazing was it to hear about his farm life? I mean, I would redo that a million, billion times, and I really hope he comes back on. I mean, I really hope he comes back on. My hope, what I'm trying to achieve here with the show is I really desperately want people to be like Pete. Pete's the only one that I have, and I'm actually gonna send him a text right now, letting him know that I'm counting on him Wednesday, which is tomorrow. Oh my God. See you tomorrow. Because Pete is someone that I feel like mutually we realized that this is good for both of us. And then all of a sudden it was just I'll see you every Wednesday. And every Wednesday that he's able, Pete's on the show. And that is something that I had been searching for since the very inception, right? And just I hadn't even realized it. But now that I've got it, it's I can't let it go. I really hope Pete, for as long as we're able, we continue to, and he texted back. Oh, he can't. Oh, man. Oh, well. Maybe he'll push back, want to do Thursday, Friday. But what I'm trying to say here is, dang, that sucks. What I'm trying to say here is, looking forward. Oh, I have really bad news. That's not good. Bro, you can't just text someone, I have really bad news. Just get it out of the way. Did someone die? Yo, just tell me, man. Is it how bad? Did someone die? What's going on? Okay, who? Why can't you tell me? Okay, someone died. I don't know what to do. Should I end the episode? I mean, I'm thinking like if someone died, like what is 2 hours? Like just rip it. Like say blank got into a very bad car accident. Blank is dead. Blank passed away. Like why would you even pick up the phone call? Why would you send that text? Now I can understand. It's not, you don't really plan for these moments. I mean, can you just listen to me talk right now? What am I even saying? I picture like people listening to this, especially that are involved in this incident, whatever happened, and like I picture like takedown requests and like all that kind of stuff. Am I I mean, do I call someone that's not him? Do I send him a text and be like, and let him know it's not cool? Like, you just sent me into a spiral, you have to let me know? No, I think, to be honest, I'm just going to finish out the episode. I'm going to do my best to make sure that this is not going to be part of the title, the thumbnail, and it certainly won't be a chapter. ChatGPT, if you can read this part of the transcript right now, obviously I'm in the moment filming the podcast and I'm verbally speaking these words, but you will see them as written transcript with timestamps. Please know to not include anything about what is a deeply painful thing in your chapters, in your title, or in your I'll make the thumbnail. It won't be the fucking thumbnail. But I guess it's not my place to be like, it's not my place to say, like, it's just not my place. And it's like, boo-hoo. If I'm super nervous that the person that died is someone that I knew, or even not, it's still horrible. Like, that's my problem. I guess I'm just gonna sit here and exist with that. And now to reinforce that, I think that Kalen and his girlfriend are gonna walk back in, and I'm gonna I gotta just find something to talk about here. Let's move forward. Okay. So what I was saying was, I very much so want this show to be something that people want to be a part of. So that entails, for instance, me being approached. It's like, I want to be on the show, and it happens, but it's very muffled and dull, right? I get comments, I get calls, I get texts, few and far in between, but they are very, it's gotten to the point where they're very to the point. Like, people, I feel like, even so, just watching me on the show for just a bit, kind of get how to approach me, because they see me on the screen and I'm not too different outside of keeping it real that I am on, and they say, I want to be on an episode. And that's great. Love to see that kind of thing. But it's a very, the want to be on the episode is very different than the actual putting yourself in the chair, so to speak. I think it takes a certain kind of, I don't know, moment, certain kind of, I don't know. It things have to align in a kind of way that I'm not sure how to explain, but the more people are interested, the more chance of that alignment happening. So, that's why we have been making the changes that we're making. That's why this channel now standalone hosts Keeping It Real. That's why now I'm focused a lot on making the clips on, I let ChatGPT write the chapters. I make sure that the thumbnails are very engaging. The titles, the thumbnails could be better. My face could be better lit. If you see this thumbnail for this episode, hopefully my face is very well lit. There should be a lot of light on my face. And that's all intentional because I'm pushing towards a place. And it's not, I want to stress, it's not that I'm not happy with where I'm at. I'm very happy with where I'm at. I like keeping it real, just the way it is. And it's not that I think it should be something else. I just think part of keeping it real just the way it is kind of just being ready for what could happen. And I think what could happen is every single time you put yourself out there on the internet, there's this chance that a certain wave is caught algorithmically, and moments in time can be captured in the perfect way where clicks pour in, and it's a machine built for this. We'll put it this way. There's a reason why it's completely free of charge for me to click upload and have that video live on a cloud that I don't pay for forever and ever and ever and ever. And you'll be quick to say, well, Jack, you do pay for it. You're the product in a sense. Like, you making that video is what these companies are selling. They're selling your video. And it's this weird relationship because you're right and you're right. Like, it's hard to explain, it's hard to get into, and it's hard to do, and I feel like I needed a hard thing to do. So here we are with Keeping It Real. I'm not sure, like, have I gone into this recently? Or maybe you're thinking, like, Jack, this is all you talk about. I just want to make sure you, the viewer, are like, well, I have this time, because who knows, tomorrow I might pick up another guest. I certainly plan on knocking on my roommate's door again. I did knock and no one answered today, and I thought to myself, damn, I hope I'm not, like, I don't know what I thought, but, like, I don't know. You never want to, like, I don't know how to explain it. I felt like a little bit kind of, like, gross. Like, I don't want to be the guy that's like, you don't know how to tell to stop knocking on your door. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of what I'm, like, you don't want to be that guy. So, but I think that that's irrational. I think that that's like this learned fear that I'm trying my best to push back against. Because no one ever, like, until the day that someone tells me, yo, Jack, don't knock on my door again. I don't understand what's the problem. I like you. I like to have you on my show. I thought you like to be on the show. Like, that kind of thing. And that makes me think of my ex-girlfriend from the 8th grade. Someone who I still think is I've never been with a girl that I've never hated anyone I've ever been with. I know people are quick to say they hate their exes, but it's almost like my love for these people just increases when ties are cut, it seems, to be honest. And it's very teaching, because these people, once they've been with me and then they've cut ties with me, they have no interest in uncutting ties, I guess you could say. And that is very teaching, because it's like, as I'm building myself out, I have this hobby. I'm going to school. I work out. I eat healthy. I try to get a good sleep. Like, I'm trying so hard. I work a job. I'm trying so hard to be a good person. And it's all really like, it's all really, it's for me, but it's also like, you know what else is for me? Having someone by my side. Like the tomorrow, let's forecast, right? And I don't want to manifest anything. Well, so let's just do a hypothetical. Today, if I hadn't gotten a guest on the show, I would have been, I would have sat here and done the full hour by myself, no problem. But I think it would have been just a little bit nicer to sit here and do the episode by myself if I knew that when I wrapped up and I finished and I clicked all the buttons and did all the editing, I don't know, I could just go see a familiar face. One that, it was kind of, without it needed to be spoken, a bit like mutually understood that there's like trust building happening. That's kind of like, and you might hear like, I don't know if what I've said is like, is that too much? Like, am I asking the universe for too much? Like, do I need to be more proactive? Do I need to go out and maybe it may be. These are very like these years are very like these next 5 to 6 years. I think like as time progresses, my answer will change, and I'm not sure how, but I'm just kind of like, I can like see like how this is going to go, sort of like I'm the kind of guy that really is, I could end up, I know I could end up alone, and I wouldn't be alone. Like, you have to understand, like I could end up without a romantic long-term partner, if you understand what I'm saying. And I don't think that my life would have any less meaning or I'd be any less fulfilled on my deathbed if that was what ended up happening. Like, I feel like it's all so relative. Sometimes you see someone that's older that is single and like, you're like, oh, poor them. But like, that's just because you don't want to be single. Like, they probably are just fine with the way they are. And if they weren't, then they'd probably not be single. Like, and it goes vice versa too. You see two old people that are in love and together and you say, oh, I feel so bad for them. But that's just because you don't want to be in love and with all that, it's relative, and it's, I don't know. What can I say? What can I say? What can I say? I appreciate it all. And I think I'm a bit tired. I think it's great that it's 4:30 p.m. and the episode's about to be over. I finished my Instagram reel. Episode's done. I just need to bust the camera out, hit a freestyle, do a memoir for the day, and then cut 2 clips out of this episode for YouTube and TikTok. And then, I realistically should be well, good and done with my walk and my budgeting and my 1 page of my book before it even gets dark. And then I got some pasta, eat some pasta and just kind of snuggle up in bed. Might even have my, might even have my laptop open and watch a little YouTube video in bed. Like, I don't think that that's the worst thing that could ever happen to me. Looking forward to it. We've had, this is, you got to rest. Do I want the streak to continue tomorrow? Do I want another guest? Hell yeah. Do I want Kellen to come back on again? Hell yeah. Do I want to knock on my neighbor's door and them to open it and be like, I'm down? Hell yeah. But I also want, at the end of the day, we have to remember what this whole thing is about. At the end of the day, when it comes to YouTube, when it comes to social media, God, when did I start calling it social media? It used to just be YouTube. When it comes to YouTube, at the end of the day, all I really want is to post a 2-second clip tomorrow where I at least say hello and then maybe a short little sentence that I think is funny. About 5-second clip. That's really all that I want to accomplish. And it's very much so all about how you do it, not what you do. So I want that one clip to be meaningful. I want it to be filled with purpose. And I really want I got everything, man. I got it all. It's very human, you realize, because we all have it all. To have a day is to have everything. But we all push for more every single day, whether you're a crackhead or a billionaire. Everybody's pushing for more. And that's just kind of like the human way. You know, capitalism, it's so beautiful because it serves our species so well in like a massive group cohesion kind of way. It creates that more, you know, it's like, what is more? Well, there's more money. And that's that's the hustle, you know? And yeah, it's like a bit scary when you have things like AI and, you know, just Google on its own and the iPhone and all, but we're living in a crazy time. For 99% of our species, time here, we didn't even know how to write. We couldn't read. But we see writing and reading today as like a second sense. It's like same with driving a car. It's just something we do. And you gotta love it. I went way over time. See you tomorrow.